Hey everyone, this is the Wargaming Guy. Welcome back to Gettysburg, the Turning Point. I'm having to record a voice track for this because it didn't record when I did it because I forgot to check my settings because I was so confident I finally got the resolution problem that I forgot about the fact that sometimes because my mic is plugged in and out of the computer, it doesn't always register with OBS. So there you go. So I'm going to be talking about this after the fact, which is not really as exciting, I know, as on the spot, but it's the best I can do. So you can see there the current position of the battles of Gettysburg. You can see it really, really, really looks different from what happened historically, but hey, this is what we're dealing with right now. And so I'm starting to move my guys around and get ready to see if we can push the Confederates back, slap them around a little bit. Obviously, this has been, excuse me, my throat's been like this all day, so sorry, folks. This has been one heck of a fight. I mean, bloody wow. Lots of units just getting just wiped out, breaking, coming back, reforming. Yeah, I mean, it's been something else. So just going to move some of my guys around here. You can see a lot of my corps are scattered all over the map too, because I've had to sort of put them in whatever position I can to deal with the Confederates, who have at one point held the entire Cemetery Ridge. Now I pushed them back a little bit. I've got Culp's Hill on one end, and I've got the tail end to the other end. But man, I mean, you know, they have really done a number on me for sure. Much more so than historically in terms of conquering territory. I don't know about casualties, but in terms of conquering territory, the Confederates have been awesome in this game because they have really just rolled over the ridge pretty easily. So you can see here that AI is moving now, moving around, and waiting to see what they're going to do. Obviously, it looks like they're going to make a push now towards getting Culp's Hill back. They have held, like I said, the whole ridge. So clearly they've almost got the whole thing now, but they don't have Culp's Hill. So it's not surprising that the AI now would want to win that back, if at all possible. But you can see they have taken quite a few casualties, and they're still, though, a force to be reckoned with. Don't want to mess with them. Got a surprise there because the Confederate unit either doesn't exist or only had one unit or didn't move or something. So it took me a moment here to figure out, oh, hey, it's my turn. So just trying to figure out where to put my guys for best usage. One of the challenges in this game is the fact that because it's a random order, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to pull these guys back and then I'll bring these guys up, because before you can bring those guys up, the Confederates might move and take that spot, or you might have combat, or so it's keeps you on your toes. You have to think carefully about it. So moving those guys up, they are not very big, but they are elite. So hopefully that will help them weather the storm to come whenever combat finally strikes. And we'll just see here. It's hard to talk about maneuvering units around after the fact. For me, it's easier to do it when it happens, because then it's more stream of consciousness. Whereas here, in my Corel Video Studio X9, I've got a teeny little screen to look at. And I mean teeny. Less than 25% of the screen. Way less, actually. And so it's always hard to know what to do. But now I'm bringing up my reinforcements here. Fresh units. Fairly well well, some of them at least, are well-trained or fairly well-trained. These guys are raw, but, you just got to take what you can get and get some guys up on the ridge to fight it out with the Confederates. There, you do have a slight advantage when you're on top of a ridge to attackers, although that has not kept the Confederates from just rolling over the ridge. And actually, when I've counterattacked, sometimes I've done the same. So I definitely think they need to give more of an advantage to defenders on top of hills and ridges here. I just don't think that... I think it's too easy, let's put it that way, to conquer some of these hills or ridges. So you either need to do that or maybe decrease the offensive ability or increase defensive ability or some combination of that or something. Now my cavalry, I've just been silly and stupid, and just as a joke, I've had them ride around the Confederate army. See, Jeb Stuart's not the only guy that can do that. But of course it doesn't matter in this game. I can't cut off their supply. I can't do anything. And since there's no victory hexes out here, which I wish there were, because then I could capture one, and if they left it unguarded, and then that could be interesting. Of course, that also gets really gamey too, I know, but it just... it seems to me that there ought to be some penalty for letting a lot of enemy units in your rear, because in real life, obviously, you have supply columns and ambulances. And in this battle, the kind of casualties they've been having, all kinds of ambulances. So obviously, you can't let that happen, HQs, everything else. So that might be a fix that they might want to consider. Probably won't at this point since the game's out, but And hey, I know the game's only $9.99, and you're going to see something come up a little bit later that we'll talk about this again on, but I really like it. It's fun. It's just a lot of fun, and the combat when it occurs can be just stunning. So I really like it, and that's why I'm making these suggestions, because I'd like to see it get better, because I think this game, with a little more work and a little more polish, could really be a gem. And I'd like to see it do that, because it's just really cool to just have a game that plays pretty quickly. It makes you think, but it's not complex, and it's just a lot of fun. Sometimes we get so into all of the intricate, in wargaming, all the intricate, turns and this and that, and factoring in all these different things. And sometimes we get so into all this that it makes the game kind of a drudgery. It's like it's not fun, it's work. It's one of the reasons why I do not have, nor do I ever expect to buy War in the West, because it's just too dang complicated for me. Now, if you're younger than me or just smarter than me, have a better memory than me, then that wouldn't be hard. Then you're all good. But for me, I like my games. It doesn't have to be this simple, but simpler. And this game's just a lot of fun. So, well done to the designers, but I wish there was... Oh, here we go. Combat. Here comes the Confederates combat term. I just wish it was, like I said, just some of these things, like, see that blue arrow there with the red tip and these things stick on the map. Those are just things, if they could get that worked out, it'd be awesome. All right, here comes all the Confederate artillery, and man, they have a lot of it blasting away at my guys, and I think we got through that in pretty good shape. Now we're going to do a little more firing, because why not? But I like the smoke, and the sound effects are just awesome. You can't hear the sound effects because of my mess up. I'm sorry, but you've heard them on other videos. So now here we go, shattering. Now we got the infantry firing at each other. So we're going to hopefully shatter some of these rebel units, because that's the name of the game. Break them up, break them apart. Some of them will return before the next day, but in the meantime, you get them out of your way. So we're waiting now. Got some guys retreating. You notice that did you see those guys right there? I'm pointing. What am I doing? They retreated forward off the ridge down to my cavalry down there. It's one of the things about it fascinating, because you see this in war games all the time. The concept of retreating backwards is something that the AI seems to have a really hard time grasping. That would not have happened. Even if you had cavalry out there historically, you would not have had men after combat run out to be with them. I'm sorry it's not happening. I'm not sure, what needs to happen here, but this is an issue that I hope they'll be able to figure out in more war games. All right, here we go. Combat phase. We had the approach fire. Now we're fighting back. Hopefully we're going to be able to smash a few more of their units. Teach them a lesson. Show you what happens when you come up north, boys. So you see we got some more of those arrows stuck up on Culp's Hill. It's just, I know nothing about programming, so I have no idea how you'd get around that programming-wise, but I just wish they would, because there has to be an answer for it. It doesn't happen in most games, so come on, fix it. Okay, so we're going to move these guys because they're obviously pretty weak. We're just going to move them over there to connect up, so we can say that we've ridden all the way around the Confederate Army. And these guys, I'm going to put in Gettysburg just to see if I can get a reaction out of the AI. Just want to see if it'll happen. All right, so here we go. What's yeah, okay. I was having trouble seeing what was going on here for a minute with my tiny screen. Yep, gonna move some of our guys around here. Trying to build up my flank over there. The Confederates have had units over there. They pulled most of them back, but maybe I can sort of, again, stretch them out a little bit would be good for me. You can see I've got units from these corps all over the place, like from one end of the battlefield to the other, which I know is silly and ridiculous, but, when you got holes to fill, you've got holes to fill. So there you go. Let's see what I want to do with him. Trying to find some way to take that victory hex up there. So finally decide, why not? Let's move him up here. See if we can divide this unit's fire. The more you can divide the fire of a unit, the fewer casualties you should take. Easier it is to break him. So they're going to move their artillery/panzer unit around. That's a whole nother thing. I think the artillery's a little overrated here, but it's all right. It's still fun, and that's the coolest thing about this game. Yeah, so I got my artillery there and some infantry. Trying to figure out how to get it up where I want it to go. Sometimes it can be really frustrating to get guys where you want them exactly. But there we go. Get them up. Split the fire of the enemy. Meanwhile, you've got guys firing at them, and hopefully you can shatter them. And, yes. Okay, we'll get somebody on that victory point. Hopefully hold it. Now let's get some artillery up here to back things up. And give them what for? So as you can see, the Confederates are doing more shifting troops around, building up their flank down here, and reshuffling their troops. Obviously, they want to get at Culp's Hill, but at the same time, they're going to have to deal with some other things as well. Keep the flanks fairly secure, and then push on towards those victory hexes, because they want those victory hexes at the end of the ridge. Not to mention Little and Big Round Top. Actually, it's just Big Round Top is a victory hex. Little Round Top isn't, which is odd. Okay. What am I doing here? Trying to find out where to move some people. Like I said, can't always get them where you want them. Hate to put them right up in front of that artillery, because that's a good way to get your booty really blasted, let me tell you. These artillery units are pretty pretty darn powerful. So instead, we'll put them there and just put these guys up at a reserve position to back up the line on Culp's Hill. Bring some more guys forward. Again, split the fire of this unit. When you can do that, that's awesome when you can do that. And I'm thinking, where am I going to go here? Trying to figure out where I want to put my boys. So we'll go there instead. And try and shatter some units. Here we go. So first of all, you select your artillery units and aim them where you want them. Once you get all that taken care of, you go through the artillery phase, and then you go through, and you have no control over, you have control over who the artillery shoots at. Past that, everything is just, they're there, they're going to fire, the dice roll, and you do have a chance to retreat right before combat with some of your units, but other than that, it's all out of your control, General. Once you commit your men to the attack, you just have to watch it happen and see how it goes. Here we go. The artillery's blazing away with all the smoke, which is a cool effect. A little annoying sometimes because you can't really see what's happening, but that's okay. That's kind of the point. Okay, we are not retreating. It's not what we came here to do, and we've done too much of it anyway. So let's get going. Let's beat up some guys and shatter them and break them in two. Crush the enemy. Hear the lamentation of the women. Yes, that's what we want to do here, if at all possible. There we go. Beautiful. Love it. And, of course, you also have this happening. Yeah, run away. Especially with raw units or just guys that have been trained, but they're not really trained that well. The lower their morale, I think, the more chance they have of doing that. And again, no control over that. You can send them back up next turn, or the next time they pop up, because they may not have moved yet in this turn before combat, but if they're going to retreat, they are going to retreat, and they're not asking you for permission. So there you go. It does show you the limitations of command, particularly in the Civil War era, where a lot of times a general on scene would make a big difference in a battle, but then again, he can't be everywhere. Bam! Broke him. Awesome. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. So, and you can advance after combat. Sometimes they'll let you do that, but they pick the hex. In other words, if the unit shatters, you can advance into that hex. You cannot advance into a adjacent hex. You don't get the freedom to choose. So, which again can be really frustrating if you shatter a unit and right next to him is the victory hex you wanted. You don't get to just say, "Oh, I'll go over there." Nope. You either go where the guy was or you don't go at all. All right, bringing up some guys on the flank of Culp's Hill. No, looked at those odds and thought, yeah, better not. And I'll get some artillery up here, some more support. And at this point, things aren't looking too bad in terms of how my line is set up for the Union. Obviously, I really wish I had the whole ridge under my control like I should. But you can't have everything, people. So, now we're going to send these guys up and grab that victory hex, which puts them, of course, under the guns, but hey, that's what happens when you join the army. Okay, here we go. See what I'm going to do with these guys. Probably not too much. Most of them are pretty weak. I hate to put guys with less than at least 3 brigades or regiments or whatever you call them. I think it's regiments. Into the line because, if it's only 2, man, they can disappear just like that. That's why I've got a lot of these guys down here on the end of the line. It's just there's not much going on down there, so they can hang out and be okay without, probably getting vaporized. And we'll pull these back. Yeah, this is one of the weird. This is another glitch in the game. That unit has no regiments, but it's still on the map, and it shouldn't be. And I've seen that a couple of times. So I, of course, obviously have no idea about that, but that's a little annoying glitch I wish they would fix. Here we go, moving some guys up. Again, get back up on the ridge, and maybe push forward into that gap. Maybe not. See how things develop in combat. Here's the victory check. The CSA is got the victory in terms of hexes held, but the USA has victories in terms of points. In other words, I've killed more of them than they've killed of me. So I'm not sure how that pans out. Is that a draw? I would assume that it would be, but I don't know. And now, it's the same thing. Look at that. So, okay. So I'm reading that little text, which I can't not read to save my life. But if you look at it on your screen, you'll notice another problem with the game. Lots of typos or just language that's not very proper English. It appears someone wrote this, the one who wrote this, maybe English is not their first language, or it was translated and not done quite right. Again, if someone read this over, I'm sure they'd catch it. It's all these little niggling details, which I really hope they're fixing, because I'm telling you, I think this game could be a classic game. It really could be if they just handle some of these things. Whether they will or not, I don't know. Matrix has a pretty good history of improving their games, and I was not involved in playtesting or anything on this. Wish I had been, actually. This would have been fun. But, if they get that, that's okay. So I'm reading all that, apparently really slowly. Well, I'm also making comments on the text, yeah. So, okay, so now here we go. Here's what we got ready to go for the day. All these guys are ready to receive their orders. Shows you how things are going in terms of core that are available, not how strong the cores are. But as you can see, the Confederates have a lot of core. So does the Union. So here we go. Now, this totally messed me up, and this is a bug, and I couldn't figure out. It takes me a while here to figure this out, as you're about to suffer through, because I don't understand why I'm in charge of the rebel reinforcements. For a minute, I thought, what the heck happened? Did they start something new and they make me a rebel? What's going on here? Well, no, I'm still the Union guy, but you see I'm checking all this stuff because this has to be a glitch. There's no way I should be in charge of placing reinforcements. This is what happens at the end of the day. When you come into a new day, you get some units that were totally broken or disappeared come back, and of course new units arrive. So I was looking at the edge of the map because that's where new units tend to arrive, and that wasn't happening. And I don't even know why should you ask me to do this. I'm the Union player, so it was very, very confusing to me. And it's got to be a glitch. It's got to be a bug. There's no way I should be doing this because I'm the Union player. I don't get to place you guys as people when they come in. That's crazy. So I'm flailing around here trying to figure that out. And we're back, and look, there's reinforcements again, which I don't want to place their reinforcements, and I don't even know where to put them. So once again, trying to figure it out. Nope. Already saw that. That's not helping. And go to settings again, just in case I missed something, which I had not. And I think I go to main. So I'm trying to see if the AI was misplaced. That's why I'm doing all this. And so now we're back. And here's the enemy reinforcements for you to place, General. That's kind of nuts. So I totally befuddled at this point. So in a second here, I think you're going to see the solution I came up with. Now, if you zoom in, see the little red circles there along the pike that goes north? That's a sign of movement. So, but then down here is where they usually come in, and I'm not seeing where they're coming in. So I'm like lost. What I finally figured out, I'll just tell you now, is that these are reinforcements coming back or replacements, and so I just clicked next and moved past it. But you just place them anywhere where you see one of those little hollow circles. You just place them, and they will automatically, they just appear there, and then you can move them from there. So, and I figured this out, as you'll see in just a second, when it became the Union turn to move some guys. And the same thing happens where I get the Union reinforcements, but they weren't coming in from the edge of the map, and it takes me a minute to figure that out. So I either missed this earlier in the game or forgot it. I'm really not sure, but either way, here we go. Yeah. See what I mean? There they are. So I'm looking, okay, I'll just place them on the map and march them in like I always do. But wait, no. But you see the little blue circles behind the line there? Yes, you do. That's what I will eventually figure out. If you just click there, they will appear there. But I'm still hung up on putting them on the edge of the map. And I'm looking around trying to figure that out. So I will admit this was not the most fun part of the game, but I learned. So now it's like, okay, now I see what's going on. So we can just place them where I want them, just kind of looking around, figuring out where to go. And boom, there. It's that simple. And then you can just go through and see what else you got to move and what you want to do. And then it sort of dawned on me at this point, oh, that's probably what you do with the Confederate guys that keep popping up. Although, again, that should not be something I'm doing. So something's weird somewhere. Here's a saying I haven't used in a long time. Something's rotten in Denmark. If you're much younger than me, you may not have heard that one. And I have no idea what it means, other than something's messed up. But I don't know the origin of it. Okay, enough of that exciting boredom. Here we go. All right, so gonna let look. It's our pals, the replacements, reinforcements, whatever they are. Yeah, reinforcements. And so again, here I am. Let's see. I'm a slow learner. Let's see. Wait a minute. Yeah, look at that. There you go. So I finally I finally figured it out. I'm still hung up on this whole map edge marching thing. You can see I go back there. But I don't know why it took me so long. I mean, I did it. So I should have just figured, just put them where there's little spots, buddy, and that's all you got to do. And then that's one thing. The computer actually was kicking back down to the map edge every time I put one in. Or every time I clicked on a new one. Yeah, one or the other. So that was weird, too. Why that happened, who knows? I mean, the whole thing is weird. So, weirdness everywhere, my friends. So I finally go ahead and get him in. And then they're going to pop up and give me a Union turn here in a minute. And I think this is where I end it. Oh, wait, I have reinforcements. Here we go. I got to see, there's the little blue circles. So, where are we going to put him? No, don't go to the map edge, Dumbo. Put him right down there. There you go. Oh, I'm so smart. All right, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope my voiceover wasn't too horrible. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, please do. I'm so close to 100. 2 away as I speak right now. So, man, that would just be awesome. I'd really appreciate it. This is the Wargaming Guy saying thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. And I will see you later.